Don't let Mike Tomlin's record fool you. Yes, he wins more games than he loses. However, he inherited a very talented roster before he got into the league. If you look at the team that he won the Super Bowl with in 2008, yes, he was the youngest head coach there, but he had 4 Hall of Famers on that roster: Ben Roethlisberger, Hines Ward, James Harrison, and Troy Polamalu. That's 4 Hall of Famers. When you compare to Tom Coughlin won a Super Bowl with 1 Hall of Famer, Michael Strahan, and then the second one with none, 0 Hall of Famers. Mike Tomlin had 4. And after 2008, he never had the same as a talented team, and he could just never just get that team to win a Super Bowl after that. Sure, they made it to the Super Bowl in 2010, but they got beaten by the Packers, by an up-and-coming Aaron Rodgers at the time. And when you just look at the Steelers are known for having that defense. The Steelers' defense has been average in the past couple of years. And I would like to look at the Steelers, and right now they have the number 1 ranked pass defense. But don't let that fool you. Let's look at their competition in the past 5 weeks. Case Keenum, okay, backup quarterback. Okay, Deshaun Kaiser, Browns quarterback. Enough said. Mike Glennon, an overpaid player who's probably Brock Osweiler 2.0. And then Blake Bortles. That is absolutely repulsive when it comes to that quarterbacks that they face. And not only that, the best quarterback they face is Alex Smith. A lot of people say, well, he might be top 5 quarterback this year. Well, when you look at him, he's definitely not faced very good secondaries, and he has a very, very good offense around him. Sure, I'm not a big Travis Kelce guy. I think he's just fast. He's good. He's not great. And then you got Tyreek Hill, who's one of the most fastest, most versatile players in the NFL. He reminds me of what Percy Harvin was in 2009. And then you got Kareem Hunt, probably one of the best, if not the best, running back in the NFL. Definitely a two-way running back right there. And it's really because of the Chiefs' success is because of Kareem Hunt, not because of Alex Smith. And Alex Smith is just not that impressive a quarterback. So the Steelers, so what? Your number 1 ranked pass defense is a little bit of a joke right there. It's not a number 1 ranked pass defense. I would rather have the Seahawks secondary. I would rather have the Broncos secondary. I would rather have the Vikings secondary. Listen, there are plenty of other secondaries I would rather have in the league, but you're definitely not the best pass defense in the league. You might be ranked number 1, but stats lie at times. They can lie at times. And one thing for sure about the Pittsburgh Steelers is Mike Tomlin. They brought him in because he's a player's coach. Similar to Bill Cowher. Bill Cowher was a player's coach. He would try to kind of set the tones at the locker room right here. I look at Mike Tomlin, even him as a player's coach isn't really that impressive. I think that if you look back over a couple years ago, the Steelers brought back James Harrison. Now, obviously, James Harrison's a great player and all that, but it's not really so much about James Harrison. Mike Tomlin took a selfie with James Harrison. Just put that together. If you don't believe me, there's a Google image in the description. Click on it. But Mike Tomlin took a legitimate selfie with James Harrison. What the hell are you doing taking selfies with NFL players? And out of all NFL players you take a selfie with is James Harrison. James Harrison is not one of these guys who's all about, like, he's not an Instagram guy. He's not a Twitter guy. He's not a guy that's involved in social media. Mike Tomlin, out of all people that you would take a selfie with, wouldn't it be Antonio Brown, who was in your locker room at that time? Not James Harrison. He can't put 2 to 2 together. Can he even relate to players? Taking a selfie with James Harrison, like, this guy, I don't know. I think he's completely out of his mind. And just recently, when you had Alejandro Villanueva coming out there doing the Pledge of Allegiance and whatnot, and then the entire Steelers team was like in the stadium, in the locker room, whatnot, or in the tunnel, wherever they were. Can he even get this team to like come together? Like, he's really letting the national anthem protest get to them. He is letting that national anthem thing feed up into the Steelers players' heads, because for some reason I think there might be a locker room divide there. And not only that, remember the divisional round game just this past season when Antonio Brown Facebook Lived it? He put it on Facebook Live. I don't think Mike Tomlin has the locker room in Pittsburgh under control. He doesn't. And when it comes to Tomlin and all that, he's just not that great of a players coach. And I think players coach is not only getting respect out of your players, but it's also setting a tone, setting a culture, having control, having unity right there. I don't see this unity at all. And I just think Tomlin's completely clueless. And let's not forget about Mike Tomlin tripping Jacoby Jones on a kickoff return, punt return, whatever it was. He tried to trip him. Like, that is absolutely ridiculous. He tried to trip him. It is laughable if you think about it. Don't believe me. Google images in the description. And ideally, Mike Tomlin is just not that great of a head coach. He might have some motivational value to him, but he's really not great. And when I look at the Steelers team, they have an extremely gifted offense. They have the best triplets in the NFL, or one of the best triplets I have ever seen. Ben Roethlisberger, who in my opinion doesn't get enough credit at times, but he is better than Drew Brees at a legacy level. He is better than Drew Brees. Sure, Drew Brees might play longer than Ben Roethlisberger, but I would rather take the quarterback that can drive down the final 2 minutes in a Super Bowl than just some garbage time offense quarterback that Drew Brees is. And then you got Antonio Brown, who might be one of the best, if not the best receiver in the league. And then you got Le'Veon Bell, who's one of the best two-way running backs in the NFL, one of the best running backs in the NFL as a whole, and who plays in such a unique style. And you consistently just go 10-6 every season, and you can't really lock up home field advantage or whatnot. I mean, that's pretty pathetic. For this is the team that lost to Tim Tebow in the wild card round. It's laughable. It is laughable. This Steelers team needs a new head coach. And sure, people think Mike Tomlin's good, and yes, you could always point to his record. But for a guy who's a player's coach, really doesn't have the locker room control, and when you give him a game plan, he does not know what the hell he's talking about. He plays way too much zone out there. And ideally, there's so much of these dumb little things that he does. Selfies with players, tripping players that was on the field. It is very, very silly. And when I look at Mike Tomlin, I think Pittsburgh needs to move on from him.